On you guys, new update is now available to fix a variety of gameplay issues. Fix several crashes that could occur during gameplay. The wandering trader will no longer spawn in water, lava, or underground. Wild update music will now play in wild update biomes when playing in creative mode. Many fixes to experimental spectator mode functionality fixes over 60 community reported issues. See the full list of changes at akm.ms//Minecraft update. Please continue to upvote in reporting any new bugs at bugs.mojang.com and leave us your feedback at feedback.minecraft.net. Okay. When's it going to be ready? When it's ready. Ooh. X City. Okay. 8/8/22. Okay. Oh shoot. Okay, Pastor Mike, here we go. Oh, you guys have got so many videos. Mike Hogger, 283 videos. What was that one we were watching? The UFO disclosure is coming.
Nazca fits in with you know, I better get back to Genesis 3. I never did finish the idea of these reptilian mummies out in the desert of Nazca.
Sounds funny though.
If you look at Genesis chapter 3, we have the characters here in Genesis 3 are the woman, Adam, the Lord God, and Satan. Those four characters. God is the one who's in charge of all of this. God is the one who is now going to administer judgment to the woman, to Adam, to the serpent.
I love him.
Then he says this. He's saying it to the serpent. I will put enmity between
Hold on, you guys. I'm gonna make a sandwich.
and the woman. Between the serpent, which we know was the devil. We know it. Revelation 12. So he says, between you and the woman, enmity, warfare, strife, fighting, all the time fighting. Then he says, and think, number these. I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. 4 again. Her seed, recognized by, I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. 4 again. Her seed,
Hold on a second.
I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. 4 again. Her seed, recognized by scholars throughout history as being Jesus Christ, the seed of the woman. Jesus Christ, born of a woman, the Bible says, made of a woman, made under the law. So the seed of the woman is literal. It means exactly, it's the offspring of the woman, right? And that offspring was Jesus Christ, born of a woman. But then the seed of the serpent, now that's symbolic. Or the term is, that's spiritual seed. And the way some people use that word is, it doesn't really exist. It's a thought thing that you do. You think spirit, you think seed of Satan. So that would be like a really bad person, but they're not literally the DNA matched offspring of Satan. Well, why not? Because we find out 1 Corinthians 15, this is one of the passages that I use in the video I'm going to make called Giants for Those Who Don't Believe. And, a lot of Christians believe in giants, and there is some really good King James Bible believers who have a problem with angels mating with human women. They say that's not possible, so you must have got it from the book of Enoch, so quit doing that. But I think they're wrong. Now, I don't have an axe to grind with any of them, and it's certainly not my place to go meddle with what somebody believes. But I think they're wrong, and I think it's important. I think it's important that we understand that Satan is going to have an offspring, a seed, someone to take his place. And that's going to be the man of sin, he's the son of perdition. Perdition's hell. So, between thy seed and her seed, thy seed would be a reptilian, humanoid creature.
Hold on, guys.
I mean, look at the similarities. When you go to Revelation 12, the similarities between Satan and the beast. In Revelation 12, verse 3, and there appeared another wonder in heaven. Behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
Is it 228?
Well, if you go to the very next chapter, I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Well, if the Son of God is God, then the son of the dragon is a dragon who looks amazingly like his father. 7 heads, 10 horns. Does I mentioned 1 Corinthians 15. Does it say that Satan has DNA? Well, here's what it says. 1 Corinthians 15, Verse 35, then some man will say, how are the dead raised up, and with what body do they come? Thou fool, that which thou sowest is not quickened except it die, and that which thou sowest not that body that shall be, but bear grain, it may chance of wheat or some other grain. But God giveth it a body as it hath pleased him, and to every seed his own body. So, if it has a body, it came from a set of blueprints that we call seed, DNA. And then he goes on to say, all flesh is, verse 39, all flesh is not the same flesh. There's one kind of flesh of men, another flesh of beasts, another fishes, another of birds. Men, beasts, fishes, birds. 4. 4 always indicates the realm of the gospel or a false gospel and the spiritual world. Always. Always, always, always indicates that. So, you know, what did Romans chapter 1, they changed the glory of the uncorruptible God into image made like to corruptible man, beast, fowl of the air, and creeping things. They changed the glory of God into 4 corrupt things. In Acts chapter 15, when the Jerusalem Council, with no pope whatsoever, when the Jerusalem Council issued instructions for the Gentiles who were going to be believers in Jesus Christ, telling them, okay, you don't keep the law for salvation. We didn't keep the law, so you don't have to keep the law. But here's 4 things we're going to tell you to do. Number 1, don't eat anything offered to an idol. Don't eat anything hanging from a tree or strangled. Don't drink blood. And number 4, don't fornicate. 4 things to the Gentile believers. Okay? So, and Paul mentioned another gospel, any other gospel, another gospel 4 times. So it all points to this idea, this beast, fishes, birds, men thing. There is a spiritual connection to this false gospel.
Hold on, guys.
Then he says in verse 40, there are also celestial bodies. That's it right there. Celestial bodies. Then he says it differently. He says in verse 44, it is sown a natural body is raised a spiritual body. There is a natural body, there is a spiritual body. Body.
Give me a second, y'all. Are you over there? Thing Bob the Builder, Danny? Love you. Love you, Mom. Okay, y'all. Give me a second. I gotta get some water. Water. We're gonna do some of this, and then we're gonna do some, probably some, I don't know, we might do a Holy Bible study.
And the rule is,
Watchdogs Legion is
if
gonna
it
be
has a body,
tempting to
it
go back to.
has DNA. It was made from seed.
Okay.
So when God talked about the seed of the serpent, he wasn't making up a metaphor. He wasn't telling you, okay, I said it, but I didn't really mean that.
me.
that there could be mummified remains of reptilian human hybrids in the desert of Peru.
Oh, I'm
I
kidding.
say the Word of God says yes, that it's possible.
Be right back.
Possible. It does. It remains to be seen if these bodies, if there's actually more. The guy who found them said there's a lot more, but I'm not telling you where I found them because sure as I do, there's going to be some big government enclosure over the whole area. We won't have access to it. Right? So I buy that story. Will these bodies be examined? I hope they will. And I hope if it's a hoax.
Okay, so
But if it's not,
we're gonna go cut down some
then
lumber.
you have to.
Thank you for joining.
Ask the question
235.
if that's a real hybrid species, part human and part anaconda. How did that happen? It's real. It's there. You can't deny it. And again, it's like the whole UFO thing. I don't believe in UFOs. I don't believe in aliens. I only believe in God and His Son Jesus Christ. I believe the Bible. And don't bother me with all this stuff. That's all a bunch of hoax. The government's investigated it. They said it was all hoax anyway. And so I'm done with it. And I'm not saying you've got to be a UFO investigator to be a Christian. And I'm not even saying that you've got to believe in aliens and UFOs to be a Christian. What I'm saying is the Bible, to me, clearly gives us the evidence of what is behind these things flying through the sky. The Bible gives us what they are, what they're made of. The Bible tells us where they originated. The Bible tells us how it's even possible that if, okay, Pastor Mike, if these are angels, then how in the world did they crash their ship in Roswell? That was a question that I asked myself for years, and which is why prior to this year I almost never spoke about crashed alien ship at Roswell. I almost never said that. I couldn't see it scripturally. Now I can. And now that I can, now I can say, I think it happened. And I think that there are pieces of that wreckage that are being vacuumed as we speak to propel, and that's going to be used to propel man to the next stage of evolution. Or actually, it's about to be his first stage of evolution because it doesn't have any
Evolution.
previous
Evolution.
propel, and that's going to be used to propel man to his next stage of evolution. Or it actually would amount to be his first stage of evolution because he doesn't have any previous stages of evolution. He was created by God. Man's not happy about that, so man's going to become a god himself. He's going to be a so you have Tom DeLonge. Tom DeLonge, Blink-182 rock star, sold over 30 million albums. He's got money coming out of his ears. So he doesn't, what does a guy with all that money and